Welcome to the Season 6 Top 5 Player Item List for my personal favorite MUT items throughout the course of the season. As usual, we'll go over the 3 honorable mentions, followed up by the top 5 player list. And then at the end of the video, we'll be going over the master list, which is now 30 players deep of all of my top 5 player items combined into one, and at the end of the year we will find out who my favorite item has been throughout the course of this entire game's lifespan. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's start off with honorable mention number 1, starting off with an item that I already am still using, and it is none other than Seattle Seahawks wide receiver, the 97 overall team of the year item, Jackson Smith-Njigba. JSN shows up once again here, this time as an honorable mention. This card is not all different from the Ring Seeker item. I'd say the only real difference is discounted abilities here on this card. He gets baked on short elite for free, which is amazing. This is arguably the best route running ability in this game. But the give and take with this card versus the Ring Seeker is that this card only gets Seahawks Chem, whereas the Ring Seeker card gets Seahawks Chem, but it also gets additional chemistry buckets as well, like 2 of any team chem that you can add on to the card, which made that card stand out a ton. But JSN, I really like his player model in this game. I think he runs routes so crisp and so clean, kind of like what he does IRL. He is an absolute route running machine. He is so good in my offense. Catches a lot of really tough balls and traffic.
What do you mean by that?
He's just all around an amazing wide receiver item. I don't know how much he is going for at the time of this recording. I would say he's probably under the 400K mark at this point because we've gotten so much content since he's come out that it's kind of driven the prices of these team of the year items down. And also him and his tag team partner here, Rashid Shaheed, are kind of responsible for me switching back to a secondary theme team of Seahawks, since I still run a 50 Steelers theme team, which I'm going to be doing the rest of the year. Seahawks is now my secondary theme team because of these two right here in JSN. Once again, absolute route running machine, and he is earning an honorable mention spot for the Season 6 list. The next honorable mention is a card I didn't really use for very long, but as they say, you're here for a good time, not a long time. And this item right here was here for a great time. I am talking about the next honorable mention on our list, and that is the 96 overall defensive tackle, aka Collector Series, Randy White, aka the Manster. So I have been using Mean Joe Green for the longest of time as my defensive tackle, and sadly, it came to a point where Mean Joe Green really wasn't doing a whole lot of anything at defensive tackle for me. There have been a lot of player items on the offensive line that have come out as of late that get this free pass protector or even free secure protector, and Mean Joe Green doesn't really get any discounted abilities, which is the name of the game right now, which sucks, unfortunately. I can't wait until he gets another upgrade. He will instantly be bought and instantly be put back in my team. But because of this, I wanted to go ahead and pick up a new defensive tackle. And lo and behold, we found the absolute perfect replacement right here in Randy White. Now you're taking a look at stat-wise and you're saying this card for defensive tackle, what do you see in this card? I mean, yeah, 93 speed is pretty solid. He ends up being 94 on my team because I have the Jordan Davis defensive tackle item, which boosts all your defensive tackles in your lineup by +1 speed, which is really nice to have. So he's not only 94 speed, but there you can see some of the other pass rushing stats. I mean, they're pretty solid, right? But they're nothing too crazy. What made this card really stand out? Well, we take a look here at the abilities. We go here to the X Factor slot, and boom goes the dynamite. He gets AKA Unstoppable Force. Now it is 2 AP. This is kind of expensive now, but I mean, there's so much AP in this game right now that is free. Honestly, if you're a Cowboys fan, you probably should be running this card because, yeah, he is like that. Instantly, I think maybe one of the first 2 plays that he was on the field that I had him after I got him on defense, I'm pretty sure he got a sack. So this item is no joke. Obviously, Unstoppable Force, one of the best X factors on defense in this game, and it is no joke. Now, he wasn't winning like crazy every single rep, because that's just not what this game is. No one is going to dominate like that. The offensive line is going to block this a good majority of the time, but he was standing out like crazy from time to time, which is more than enough in a game that is so inconsistent. So yeah, this card is on the list simply for the fact that he just had immediate and great impact on my defense, and that's why he is the second of 3 honorable mentions here on the Season 6 list. The third honorable mention was yet another card that wasn't around for too often on my team, but he had immediate and heavy impact on my team, and it is none other than NFL Combine 97 overall, limited time, Jadeveon Clowney. When this card came out, I was still running the Seahawks chemistry as my secondary theme team. I actually switched to Commanders briefly like a couple weeks back, and then once JSN and Rashid Shaheed came out and Devin Witherspoon, I switched back to Seahawks. So yeah, this card was on the Seahawks team, so he was getting, I think, +2 speed and I think +3 from the Combine. I think he had 98 speed maxed out, but this card back then and even now is still simply sensational because, well, he gets baked on double or nothing for free, which is the huge eye-opener for me, and which is why I made this card very, very expensive. I'm pretty sure he was like 3 million coins at the time that I picked him up. So yeah, very, very not cheap on the coin count was Mr. Clowney. But you take a look here, once again, X factors. These things are starting to run the show here in this game. And at the time, these NFL Combine X Factor buckets, these abilities, well, these X Factors were all free. And they all started in the zone. As you can see, they were in the zone. They started in the zone until March 5th. So I believe I slapped on Unstoppable Force on him. I think maybe it was Colossus. I don't remember. But once again, all of these were free, free AP. They didn't cost anything, and they all started in zone, which made Combine cards like that. They were really, really good. And Clowney was no exception. Now, I will say this about Clowney and about the next item that I'm going to be talking about, and about another item I'll be talking about later on in this video as well. His first couple days, maybe even 3 days, we didn't really notice him. I didn't really notice him stand out like I did like a Dwight Freeney, for example, because he played in the TJ Watt spot in my defense in the Dime 1-4, which, by the way, you can go check out the defensive ebook, Dime 1-4, school community page, cheap plug. The link to that is in the description of the video to join the group. Also, I will pin it in the comment section as well. Please join the group. Let me help you get better at Madden. So yeah, Clowney was playing my left of screen defensive end spot, which is arguably my most important player on defense, mostly because of the ability stack. And like I said, didn't really get off to a great start, but then like 2-3 days later, we started noticing him go absolutely AWOL. Maybe he just had to get ingrained with his role, his position on the team, and then he started to really put belt to ass and absolutely start going crazy, probably because of that double or nothing combination alongside with the X Factor. Pretty obvious there. So yeah, this card, much like Randy White, he was not here for a long time, but he was here for a good and very impactful time on my team. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the top 5 player items from Season 6, starting off first with number 5, yet another defensive end. And it is none other than 96 overall NFL Combine Von Miller. So, just like Randy White and just like Jadeveon Clowney, our boy Von Miller was not on the team for very long. However, he made an immediate and very great impact on the team. I actually replaced Clowney with Von Miller, mostly because of price purposes, because Clowney was very expensive and Von Miller was not that expensive. And the cards are virtually the same. He has baked on double or nothing, and he also, once again, had these NFL Combine X Factors that started off in the zone. So these cards were basically the same. But Von Miller, we used him just for a little bit longer, and I think he was actually better than Jadeveon Clowney because I called his name out a ton. And he was built different when he was out. Once again, probably had to do with the fact that he had double or nothing and that X factor on him as well that was on. Only downside really of this card is the acceleration, and I could kind of tell he didn't really get to the quarterback immediately, if that makes sense. I mean, he would get there a ton, right? But acceleration really does matter a lot on your pass rushers, trust me. You could have a 95 speed defensive end, but if his acceleration blows, that 95 speed is going to feel like 90 speed or even worse. So having high acceleration on your players, for me personally, I think is a very important stat and very underrated and kind of glossed over stat in the grand scheme of things when you're looking for a pass rusher. But I don't think that really took away from this item because he more than made up for it and then some with how he played on the field with that double or nothing, with other abilities to help him out and keep that double or nothing and that unstoppable force going and moving and just being non-stop. Also, like I mentioned, he does get Commanders Kim, obviously. I think he's still playing for them, if I'm not wrong. Did he retire? I don't know. He's getting down there in his career. Absolute legend, by the way. But yeah, the NFL Combine promo had a lot of Commander players come out, Von Miller being one of them. Really helped out as well. All around, one of my favorite Von Miller items that I think I've ever used, and I'm pretty excited to get my hands on his next item if he does get another item. I'm going to assume he'll get an Ultimate Legend, right? Because it's Von Miller. He's an absolute demon. Or not Ultimate Legend. Maybe he'll get some sort of, maybe he'll get a golden ticket. I don't know. We'll see. But Von Miller, number 5 on the Season 6 top 5 list. Coming in at number 4, and from here on out, from 4 until 1, all of these players are still in my lineup and are still cards that I am using to this day. But this item right here that I'm about to show you guys is my number 4 player on the list. When it comes to the master list, you'll see here in a little bit, this card has the opportunity to keep on rising up the list. And honestly, so do the others as well. Because coming in at number 4 is the 98 overall Team of the Year Collector Limited Time Halfback Reggie Bush. This is, without any question, the best running back item in the game. Now, Bijan Robinson has an item very similar to this, so those two can go kind of hand in hand. But I chose a different item for my Team of the Year Collector's Set B&D card, which you will see that item later, by the way, in this video. And we picked up the next best thing, and that is Reggie Bush. And this card is absolutely Zeus. Don't mind the fact that he has a million abilities, right? It's this right here at the end. The Team of the Year collectors cards all get passive X Factors. Passive X Factors are a whole different can of worms that I don't want to open up in this video. I think they're all right, especially this year with abilities being so inconsistent, except for Omaha. Get that shit the fuck out of Madden, for the love of God. Other than that, I don't really have an issue with any other X Factor, especially this year. Once again, abilities and X Factors just aren't as overpowered and consistent. Except, well, there's some exceptions to that. And this one is the exception, and that is Yak 'em Up. I sling the rock almost every single play. This ability / X Factor is basically freight train when you throw him the ball, because he will just start breaking tackles left, right, and center. And there's been so many instances where there's been like 3 or 4 missed tackles, and we just scamper onto the end zone with him. That's how good this card is. Once again, I'm using a shit ton of abilities. Steamroller is already baked on. I got Energizer, Balance Beam. He has 2 Season 7 ability buckets for free, which is dope. These are lasting on for another month. So I got Short Elite, Short Elite and Human Joystick, absolute glitchy combo. And I'm using Tank too for what it's worth, even though he did fumble for me once, but that was when his back was turned to the ball. Those are kind of fluke hit sticks. Kind of sucks, but it's whatever. It wasn't a hit stick, actually. It was just a tackle, and then he fumbled because he was behind, or he was doing, I think I was doing a spin or something, and then the defender just hit it from behind, and the ball came out. But yeah, I think that's the only time he's fumbled. Other than that, like, he's just constantly making plays. The one big downside, though, is that They did him dirty. He can't run wheel routes right. Just like the running back Michael Vick item, which sucks. Because I run wheel routes a lot in my offense. Mostly the flipped wheel routes out of SFT bounce mesh drive. And while it's not like too noticeable, I see it happen from time to time, and why did they code it to where some running backs run wheel routes like complete idiots? I don't know, but that's the only real downside of this card. Other than that, he's sensational. Gets that team of the year program Kim. Gets every team Kim as well, if that matters, because he's already 99 speed, pretty much maxed out everywhere else except for acceleration, which kind of stinks. But yeah, this Reggie Bush item, this is mimicking a Reggie Bush item to say the least. This card is friggin' nuts. If you don't have Bijan Robinson, this should be your running back for the foreseeable future. Once again, this bucket right here does not expire for another month. So we get another month of playing with this card the way it is, and there's gonna be more items that are gonna come out and probably surpass him. But this card is insane. And once again, I have him labeled as still able to go ahead and probably climb up the list for season 7, even in the master list talk, because yeah, this card I'm still using him, gonna be using him for another month. He's absolutely sensational, and he's the 4th player on this list for season 6. Defense has been pretty shitty the entire year, but as we have gotten more and more of these players with a lot of abilities and X factors and passive X factors as abilities, defense has started to become better. It's just naturally how it is, because yeah, we're rocking with like 6 or 7 abilities on each player and X factors on each player. It's nuts, right? We're in the primordial stage. It's gonna get way worse as we go on through time. So the top 3 players of the season 6 list are defensive players, believe it or not. Been trashing defense the entire year, saying how bad it is, and now here we are. We're in late March. We're in season 7 now, but this is the season 6 list, and defense has some really good player items. Starting off first with number 3 on the list, it is none other than the team of the year, 97 overall, free safety event award, Rod the God Woodson. I swear to all of you watching right now that this item, he is the only item I think that makes plays on my team, or he just stands out above everyone else, and it's not even close. This card is friggin' insane for me personally. Now, obviously, I'm rocking a Steeler theme team, and I have boosts out of the wazoo on Rod Woodson. There you can see, maxed out speed, excel almost maxed out, play rex maxed out. Man zone, hit power don't fucking matter. But yeah, the stats and pursuits low, whatever. This card plays like he has 99 everything. I swear to God, because they must have done something after the, March 18th little update that we had where it was like a 2 gigabyte update. It feels like DBs literally just swat everything now. Like they swat it almost 95% of the time, or they say attempt to. They do not try to pick the ball off in this game. It's been a big problem the entire year, but it's been more noticeable now since that update. This card, this player says, fuck that, I'm catching almost everything. And he does. And he's just there. He's basically like Ed Reed. Like he's just there. He is around the ball no matter what. He is just ridiculous. And this card, he only really gets abilities. He doesn't get any sort of special X factor, unfortunately. That would make him even more goated if he did. But, I mean, he gets Tackle Supreme and Mid-Zone baked on, which is good. We just have, just free abilities here. We're actually using 1 AP on Pick Artist. Ha ha ha. But, I mean, it's just something about him, man. Something about Rod Woodson has just, he has leaped into the stratosphere. He has leaped off the page. He has stood out above virtually every defensive back. No one makes as many plays as this card. I didn't think he would be this good, to be honest with you. When I got him, like, yeah, Rod Woodson, he's going to be good. And usually he's a corner, but they made him a safety to kind of mimic the end of his career. Well, he is absolutely insane. I don't know how much he's going for at the time of this recording. I got him, I think, for like $2 million because he was a head-to-head event reward for the Team of the Year promo. So that made him pretty expensive there. I'm gonna probably assume he's down to less than 1 million coins. Actually, let's take a look here and see really quick. Yeah, he's about 1 million coins. Worth it. Obviously, he gets very good team chems as well. Niners, Raiders, like Ravens, and then obviously best team ever. Steelers. Well, so he's very, very theme team friendly against some of the most popular theme teams in the game. If you're not rocking out with this card, if you have one of those teams, or if you even have a team of the year program, what are you doing? This card's insane. Get him on your team. And he's number 3 on the list. Rod the God. Coming in, runner up, number 2 on the season 6 list here for my favorite player items is none other than this year's NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and arguably might be one of the best pass rushing items in this game the entire year. It is 97 overall, Team of the Year collector, BND, Myles Garrett. So with the Team of the Year program, they dropped a collection set where you collected all the offensive players, all the defensive players, all the specialists, and then all of the like honorable mention cards. You put them all in sets, right? This basically mimicked the collector series that we have in this game. So you put them all in the set, and if you do all of the sets, all 4 of them, you get some pretty good rewards. Team of the Year tokens for doing 1 set, more Team of the Year tokens for doing 2, and then the 3rd time doing the set, you get the option of choosing 1 97 overall Team of the Year collector series card. And like I said with Bijan Robinson, he was in that pack. Every Team of the Year item was in that pack, and so was Myles Garrett. And honestly, the decision came down between Myles Garrett and Bijan Robinson. I went ahead and we chose Myles Garrett, and I just picked up Reggie Bush. And that decision has paid off immensely because this card is absolutely disgustingly good. He's ridiculous on so many different levels. First off, times 10 Team of the Year chem. Crazy. Every team chem. This is awkward. Steelers and Browns. Awkward. And I'll get to abilities in a second, but stat-wise too, just look at this, man. Just look at this shit. Like, look at it. 98 speed, 98 excel, maxed out strength, maxed out play rec. The card is 99 everything. And then we get to the good stuff, the X factor, or the abilities. Well, and X factors for that matter. We'll talk about this in a second, but these 2 right here, he gets baked on. He actually gets a baked on X factor, which this does not go away on April 21st like this. This stays. He gets Team of the Year relentless. What this ability or what this X factor does is that he's not using any of his, it says points, right? But the points equals stamina in this game. So every time he rushes the passer, he does not use any stamina whatsoever. So he's constantly on basically a full tank of gas. If you want to think about it like a car, he's on a full tank every single fucking play. With this, we have double or nothing, which is baked onto the card as well. He is essentially going to be getting double or nothing pass rush wins every single snap because he's at max fuel or stamina, right? And this says grants dominant pass rush wins at twice the cost. Well, it's not costing him anything to do any sort of pass rush move. So he's just doing double or nothing pass rush moves every single play. Take a look here. Indoor baller, this kind of goes hand in hand with his X factor, which I'll talk to, but this is, reduced zone objectives in dome stadiums. I play in a dome. I know a lot of you guys probably play in a dome. It's really nice to have reduced objectives to get X factors easier with indoor baller. Swim club, when you take a look at this card in the roster and you take a look at his traits, bouncer is one of his traits, which means he's going to perform a lot of club moves naturally. So with this is going to ignore the offensive linemen are not going to be as resistant to the club and swim moves when he performs them. So that makes him even better. And then I have unpredictable on him. Honestly, don't really know if this is anything too crazy. Shed wins are less likely to add blocker resistance. And since he is technically like almost block shedding every single play, so essentially his item is on a full tank of gas every single time, every single play. And every time he gets a shed win, whether it's a pass rush win or whatever, the offensive linemen are not even like thinking that he's there essentially because they're not gaining resistance to him. If that makes any sense. I know I did kind of a shitty job of explaining that, but honestly, I think since I added this ability on, I think it's kind of helped him a little bit low key. Just because once again, he basically is constantly block shedding, right? And then when you constantly block shed, this ability is going to lessen the resistance, or it's less likely to add resistance to the lineman. And then the club moves as well are adding any resistance. So yeah, he's unresistible. He is the unresistible force But then you take a look here at his passive X Factor bucket, and yes, we are using Unstoppable Force, which once again, as you can see here, will go up to 6 AP on the 21st. But right now it is free and it is passive, so you don't have to earn it. He just has Unstoppable Force every single play. And then we go back to the X Factor. I am using Colossus as well for 0 P, the ultimate one. So yeah, if I am in a domed stadium, all he needs is 1 sack or TFL, and he has Colossus the whole rest of the game. So he has Colossus on top of Unstoppable Force, on top of Relentless, on top of Double or Nothing. He literally has a god stack of pass rushing abilities. And lo and behold, maybe this is what we need to make pass rushing amazing in this game, because this motherfucker is ridiculous. Just like the other defensive ends I talked about on this video, Clowney, Von Miller, and even Randy White as well, I didn't really notice him do very well in the first day or two. I didn't really call him out. And then that second or third day, whoop, to the stratosphere, and he's the best pass rushing card I've used all year, and it's not even close. I don't really need to go into too many details here because I'm kind of rambling on. But this card, I feel bad for those of you that did not take Myles Garrett as your Team of the Year collectors, BND. The argument is there for Bijan, but man, I feel bad he didn't take this card because he's just different, man. It's Myles Garrett, right? At the end of the day, it is Myles Garrett, and he is the runner-up of this list here in Season 6. Now, after all this glazing, after all this praising and all this craziness of Myles Garrett, who could possibly be better than Myles Garrett? Well, there is. There is an item better, and he might be one of my favorite items all year. He's probably my favorite defensive item all year long. Ladies and gentlemen, your number one player, my number one player of my Season 6 list is none other than the Season 6 97 overall Nolan Smith. Man, oh man, where do I even begin with my man Nolan Smith? First of all, stat-wise, 98 speed, 98 acceleration. This mofo is the greatest quarterback hawk downer I've ever seen, because in my defense, his role is to contain the quarterback, and he does very well. But the rate in which he does hawk quarterbacks down is simply sensational, because once again, that acceleration being maxed out, you can see it. It is very, very noticeable and very, very visible. Now, the big downside of this card is that this item does not even get the double or nothing ability at all, because his strength is so bad. He doesn't even hit the strength threshold at all. As you can see here, I'll go to this bucket. We take a look, we scroll down here. He has to have 97 strength to even unlock it. And he can't even get it here in this bucket either. So that should automatically be a huge turnoff, right? Like, he doesn't even get the best pass rushing ability in the game. Well, I'm here to tell y'all that really does not make any difference whatsoever, because I swear to you on everything that I love, this item just makes plays out of the ass. He is just the flukiest and glitchiest player on defense I've seen this entire year. Like, he will literally just come in on a contain angle free on a good amount of the time. He will make crazy plays when I least expect him to. And I think I've just said his name more than anybody on the defensive side of the ball, literally the last month and a half. And it's crazy to think about this, considering he doesn't even get that double or nothing ability. That this card is definitely the best non-ability card in the entire game. Like, you don't even really need abilities on him. Now, I'm running free abilities, which is nice. And yes, I am running Lurk Artists on him as well. I do have a specific reason why I do that. But yeah, abilities, I'm rocking this. I'm not rocking any pass rush at all, except for this one right here. Other than that, he's naked with pass rush, because I don't use him as a pass rusher. I use him as a player to keep the quarterback in the pocket. And he's done better than anyone I've used, arguably ever, in this game at keeping QBs in the pocket and just absolutely going apeshit. And he still is to this day. I still am using him because he's free and he's just built different. He is just ridiculous. And I know there's a lot of you out there that use this card. You might not think the same way that I do, but if you know, this card is ridiculous, man. He is crazy and was not expecting him to be this good. All of that combined into one is the primary reason why Mr. Nolan Smith here is my number one item on the Season 6 list. And honestly, like I said earlier, he has the opportunity to potentially keep on raising up towards the Season 7 list or the Master list. And now, speaking of master list, let's go ahead and let's unveil to you the updated master list post season 6 editions. Alrighty, so here is a look at the updated master list. I'm not going to go through and talk about every player this time around. I'm just going to talk about where the season 6 players fit into the equation here. And as you can see, Nolan Smith and Myles Garrett have vaulted all the way up. They have vaulted all the way. All of these items here, they have vaulted. And Nolan Smith comes in at number 5. Well, I guess he is technically the second best defensive player item I've used because Travis Hunter, this is the cornerback item from earlier in the year. So, I mean, Travis Hunter's just, he's everything, right? He's not really mostly defense or offense. He's everything. But Nolan Smith, you see, vaults all the way up here, just behind Dante Thornton's core gold item coming at number 5. Then Myles Garrett comes in here at number 6, just behind Nolan Smith and above Michael Vick's QB ghost item. Rod Woodson, I have him just underneath of Mean Joe Green. I think Mean Joe Green, the longevity of that item, honestly, is why he's so high as well and how good he was for so long. And once again, Rod Woodson, Reggie Bush, and yeah, see here, I have Mike climb the list as season 7. Like, these two guys might continue to climb. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Since I'm still using them, they could potentially climb up. Same thing with Nolan and Myles. If I keep seeing them go crazy, they could potentially scoot on up the list. We'll have to wait and see. And then Von Miller, I have him right down here below TJ Watt. Once again, did not use this item for very long, unfortunately, but his impact was amazing. And just underneath of TJ Watt here, coming at 16th, and just above Will Anderson. So I still have Dante Thornton as my favorite item, the breakouts item from earlier in the year. It's going to be incredibly hard for any item to surpass these top 4, but Nolan Smith and Myles Garrett are right on their tails. They can potentially move up. And any item on this list can move up at any given point in time. I don't think I've moved items down actually, which well, they do go down naturally if I do move them up, but I haven't moved any item down after this season. So there it is. Take it in. 30 players deep. I don't know how many seasons they're going to do. I'm guessing they're going to do 10 because right now we're in season 7. I think 10 would be a nice round number to end things off on, but I don't know. I don't run MUT. So, but yeah, there it is. My top 10 or my top now 30 master list of all the items. Once again, once the season or once MUT concludes this year, we will find out who is going to be the top item. And I think as of right now, I don't know if anyone's going to catch Dante Thornton. We shall see. We still have a long ways to go in this game's life cycle. We'll have to wait and see. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know this is a rather long video. I yap a lot in these videos, but there it is. My season 6 top 5 list, the updated master list. And we will see you guys in the next one. And we'll see you guys for season 7's list and master list as well. Y'all take it easy and have a good one. We will see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Hey, before you go, did you like what you saw in the video? If you did, consider leaving a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you really like what you saw, consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell icon to be notified each and every single time a video goes live here on the channel. Here's a couple other videos on my channel that you might like. Thanks for tuning in.